Next, children, after understanding the assets, next we understand the classification of liabilities. Similar, the concept of classification of liabilities is similar to classification of assets. As assets, I told you, are of two categories, current and non-current. Similarly will be the liabilities. The only difference is here we are not talking of our possessions, but we are talking of our what we owe to others, our liabilities, our dues towards the others. In case the amount that is due to be paid to somebody else has to be paid within 1 year, it is called current liability. I suppose I give you ask for you want to go for a movie, you do not have cash with you, so you say, or you want to buy a chocolate, you do not have money with you, you ask your friend to lend you, your friend has enough money, so you ask her, aaj de de, I'll return you tomorrow. So that is a liability, returning the amount or you had borrowed from your friend for a day. You promised her that you give me today, I will pay you tomorrow. So that means the ability to pay, or that amount has to be paid in a very short time. Whenever the amount that is borrowed has to be paid within one current financial year, it is called a current liability or a short term liability. When that amount is borrowed from a financial institution or a bank or from any other source for a long period, maybe suppose I take a house loan. House loan means I am asking a bank to give me a loan, but I will not be able to pay in 2 months, in 3 months, or in a period of 12 months. I ask bank to grant me a loan for 20 years. I'll pay in 20 years. Every year I will pay this amount, or every month I will pay for next 20 years I will pay. These type of liabilities are certain. These type of liabilities are fixed, or loans are sanctioned. These type of loans are called long term loans. Similar is the case with debentures. I have discussed with you the meaning of share and a debenture. Debenture means when a company asks the public to lend them some amount for which the company is bound to return. But when will the company return? Company will return after a period of 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. That is a long term. So it is called a debenture. Or similar are public deposits, loans that are taken, or people deposit their money which we use for a long time, for a long amount. That means 5 years, 10 years, similar period. So these are called long term or non current liabilities. But certain amounts, like goods are sold. Goods are sold on credit. Goods now will not be sold on a credit of 10 years. Goods will be sold for a credit of 1 month, 15 days, 2 months, 3 months, not for more than that. So those periods for which the amount for which the goods have been sold will be called the short term liabilities or current liabilities. That means if the amount can be recovered, or the amount has to be paid within the current year, within the running financial year, it will be called a short term or a current liability. Then a new term, contingent liabilities. Contingent liabilities, children, means those liabilities or those nature of liabilities which are not yet certainly liabilities, but may turn to be a liability on the happening of certain incidents. Like liability for bill discounted. I have explained to you what is meant by discounting of a bill. I'll remind you. Discounting, I told you, bill of exchange we did. Discounting, I told you, is a facility that is advanced by the bank of giving you the money when a note is written. The payment has to be recovered over a bill, but the period for maturity of that bill is not yet arrived. That is called bank gives you money, and when the due date arrives, the person will give their money back to the bank. That is called discounting a bill. You have got a bill discounted. Suppose that discounted bill gets dishonored. It's a liability. So liability for bill discounted is also a liability which has to be met in 1 month, 15 days, in a very short time. So it's a current liability. Then, but when will the discounting happen? When will this become a liability? If the other person does not agree to pay the amount. If it gets dishonored, then it is a liability to you. So it is, discounting of a bill is contingent liability. Or another example of contingent liability is liability in respect of a suit pending in the court of law. There is a case that is running against you in the court of law. The court, in case, decides the verdict against you, you may have to pay. But if the court decides the verdict in your favor, you may have to recover the amount. So you do not know. In case the verdict of the court goes against you, then it will become your liability. So it will become a liability on the verdict of the court. Court decision is still pending. So the year has come to an end. अब हम क्या लिखें? Liability लिखें कि नहीं लिखें? These type of liabilities are called contingent liabilities. Then liability in respect of guarantee given for another person. You have given a guarantee to another person. Yes, this person, दे दो इसको, I know this girl, she will pay you back. ठीक है, pay you back, you know that girl, पे कर दिया तो ठीक है. बट इन केस दैट गर्ल रिफ्यूजेज कि मैंने थोड़ी कहा था मेरी गारंटी लो, इन केस और मेरे पास नहीं तो मैं कहाँ से दूँ. बट वो दूसरा बंदा जिसने दिए हैं वो कहेगा बिकॉज इट इज़, आई डिड नॉट नो दिस गर्ल, बिकॉज you guaranteed, I gave the loan, I advanced the loan on your guarantee. So now if she is denying or she cannot pay, now you will have to pay. तो बन गई तुम्हारी liability. So that liability, that becomes your liability if the amount has been guaranteed and the person for whom you have given the guarantee denies to pay or is unable to pay, then it becomes a liability. So on the happening of these incidents, they become your liabilities. So these type of liabilities are called contingent liabilities. Now children, another important thing to understand in balance sheet, these few things I have written are very important for you to understand for the balance sheet. The first thing, the financial statements. These are the important things you have to remember for the financial statements. A financial statement needs a trial balance. Remember girls, a financial statement cannot, any financial statement, either trading account or profit and loss account or a balance sheet, they cannot be prepared without